Check it out.
Say now, whatever you say, I hope you mean it. Whatever you say, I hope you thought about it first. I'm Ivory Towns. This is the Whatever You Say podcast, and we are live. Got a visual effect on this. Live at the 405 Nation One Stop Hip Hop Shop, and I have none other than one of your very own. You might know him already, Elijah the Wolf Pierce, boxer extraordinaire, doing his thing in Georgia right now, and his father and trainer, Andy Pierce. And they gave me a little time to chop it up with me right here on the Whatever You Say podcast. Shout out one more time to the 405 Nation. Everything they got going on here, hip-hop, recording, merch, photography, art, whatever you want to do, man, come give them a holler. Holler at my man Chris McCain. He got it cracking down here, man. But like I said, the Wolf, his father and trainer. Big fight coming up in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
March 29th. Who we got on this one?
We're fighting a guy from the Philippines by the name of Arthur Villanueva.
Arthur Villanueva. Now, the last time we saw you, you were on the zone, doing quick work.
Mm-hmm.
Third round knockout.
Yes, sir.
Mike Plania?
Yep.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're sitting at 18-2, man. That's an exciting record right there, man. What can the folks expect in this next fight coming up in Georgia on the 29th?
More knockouts. I mean, I'm training very hard. This is all just another step in the building block. You know, every fight that I'm going into, I'm just a little bit more focused, a little bit more hungry, a little bit, you know, because it's only that much closer to me getting that world title. And that's ultimately what it's about, you know, becoming the champion and solidifying myself in the game.
This guy Villanueva, man, I looked at his record. Now, I don't go lie, I haven't seen any of his fight, any of his footage, but correct me if I'm wrong, 35-4 with one draw.
Mm-hmm.
For you and your opponents, man, that's a lot of work right there. This is the most experienced fighter that you've gone up against?
I think as far as records, yeah, I think so. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, none of it really poses a threat to me mentally, because I've been in the ring with several world champions, and even fought, just all different types of guys. Like I said, I've fought and beat Rolly Romero. I've sparred with Tank, obviously. I sparred with Joseph Diaz, Gary Russell, and the list goes on and on. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just another fight to me.
Now, you said Tank. You got footage on that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. Tank's footage is causing a little stir, and has been for a few months now.
Yeah.
Whether it was with you, whether it was now the latest with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Do y'all believe that these are plants set up by his camp and Mayweather, as Devin Haney and all them folks are throwing out there?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that, just because, I mean, in my case, I was the one who actually, leaked out me and Tank's video.
Okay.
But it wasn't in the means of like trying to demean or disrespect him in any way or whatever. I was just more so paying homage to the work that he gave me, because without that, sparring was very instrumental in my success as of now, and it taught me a lot. So, you know, it was just more so like me throwing kudos to him, even though he kind of took it rather personal. But, you know, it is what it is. We had some great work.
Because, depending on how much of that footage you watched, you was giving him a little work.
Yeah.
So, he might have took it a certain way. And now that I think about it, maybe you spawned that thought of him dropping it first. Now that his fight is coming up now, he's like, I'm not gonna get caught out there again. Wolf already dropped it on me, and I kind of look bad. Let me go ahead and get my good footage out there ahead of the show on Haney.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? Coach, trainer, Pops,
Yes,
Andy Pierce.
Yes, sir.
Villanueva, this guy, he has 40 fights under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
Your son only has 20, 21?
20.
No worries with that, with the experience. Of course, he's gonna say what he gotta say.
Quality over quantity is what I would say.
Say, who you fighting, huh?
Yeah.
And not to say take anything from him, but I'm really sound on what my son is doing. You know, I got to give props to myself. You know, I started when he was 6, so there's
Look where we at now.
yeah, and so it speaks for itself. You know, yeah, he has experience or whatever, but I'm really sound with fundamentals. I'm a really good fundamental coach, and fundamentals are foundation.
Yeah.
It's solid. It's solid. So as long as he do what he's supposed to do, he'll probably knock him out. This is the first camp that I've seen that he's really driven. Every now and then, some of the other camps, I would have to, you know, nudge him here and there. And he had to nudge him.
Locked in on this one.
And so, you know, he was in Atlanta. He came home, and as soon as he came home, we sparred the next day. Man, he's ready. He's ready.
He was chomping at the bit.
Yeah,
I ain't sparred in a minute. Let me get off. Let me get loose real quick.
Yeah, I had nothing to say. He done it. He was really in shape.
Let me ask y'all this with this opponent, Villanueva. We'll start with you, Wolf. I'm looking at his record. 35 fights, 35 wins, 20 knockouts. What's that say about his power? Kind of, sort of.
I mean, it's
Substantial,
decent.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
It's decent, but like I said, the whole thing for me that changes the whole landscape of how I view it is the fact that he's fought in smaller weight classes than me. Like I said, what sets me apart from any other person in my weight class is the fact that I was unknowledgeable about the whole cutting weight stuff. I never really knew about the process that everybody does for the most part. Like a lot of people that cut weight and then fight in smaller weight classes. I never really knew about that in the early part of my career. So I fought my natural weight. I walked around about 142 and I fought 135, 130 a lot. So I only dropped about 10, 12 pounds to fight. So, and I still was knocking out guys at those weights. So when you speak on those other guys' power and compared to my power, it's kind of like, you know, it's a difference.
You said it's apples and oranges. You 4 losses. 2 of those losses came by way of knockout. Is that give you a kind of insight on what kind of chin he got?
Well, like I said, it really just kind of depends on the fights himself, because sometimes it can, you know, vary depending on how it happened or whatnot. But I know one of the guys that he got knocked out by. I watched that one. You know, he's actually getting ready to fight anyway. Somebody I've called out previously, named Louis Neary. So, and once again, like I said, I believe wholeheartedly I'm the biggest and the strongest and the overall best fighter at 122 pounds, the super bantamweight weight class.
You have called out Inoue. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Go through my man's IG. Go through my man's Facebook. He's calling out Inoue. What is it, the Monster?
Yeah, the Monster.
He's a beast, and you right there. You ready for that?
Yeah. Like I said, I said it before too, and you know, just to reiterate, like I think a lot of guys, they want to fight him more so just for the payday, because he is the guy at my weight class currently, and you know, he's the biggest expense. You know, the biggest purse. But no, I genuinely believe I'll beat him, and money is not the first priority with me when it comes to getting that fight. If they were to only offer me a half or a fraction for that fight, I would still take it, just based off the fact that I know once I beat him, I'll be a household name for life, and that would be enough for me to start my own pathway to success after that. So pretty much it's like me saying I'll fight him in the street.
It's in a phone booth. Where you want to go? You know, and I respect that about you, Coach Andy Pierce, I know you have a big to do with that. I feel like y'all's respect and integrity in boxing is where it's supposed to be. You know, a lot of boxers. I mean, back in the day they used to talk like that. I don't need the purse, whatever.
Right.
Give me whatever. We can fight right now.
Right.
Guys don't even talk like that no more.
Right.
They guys gladly talk in a sense of, I'm not moving unless you cut the check.
Right.
That's what boxers' minds are at right now.
Right.
Pierce, how much have you got to do with putting that in his head like that? And that on a side note, that's what worries me about boxing right now. The money is so crazy and the need for it. Guys are willing to do and say anything.
Well, since he's a kid, you know, I've always tried to teach him about, you know, I have a value system basically.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, I implemented it through the Bible. When he was a kid, we used to lay in the bed and read the Bible.
Right.
And so I've always tried to instill certain values in him and to help that become his character. And so everything that he says about it is because it's been groomed him from a child. And now he's a grown man now. So he's decided to continue it. He didn't have to, because he's not with daddy no more. But he decided to continue to be that honorable man. His value system is not always focused on money. It's focused on principles and stuff like that. And that's what this is all about, you know. To really be the really true champion, you kind of gotta. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what they're losing. They're losing. They're focused on the money. They're focused on the popularity, but they're focused on the grit that comes from boxing.
Yeah.
You know, and the things that it takes you to have the grit. That's the most important thing, which is the character. I see so many character flaws in these boxers nowadays.
It's easy. Easy to say.
They're not grounded on anything.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to really see them as a true champion, because you would think a true champion has certain value, a certain kind of value
Supposed
system.
Supposed to.
But they don't do that.
It's more than just that belt.
Yeah. And
You know?
like I said, just to kind of even interject on that, like, my goal has been to be a people's champ. Like, I want to be a people's champ. You know, I've had my struggle, my talks with my dad as well about, you know, in what ways would I need to go about that. You know, you know, I'm human just like everybody else. You know, I made my share of mistakes, you know, and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I always try to keep my value system in perspective, and I try to make sure that, you know, I'm leading like a positive light behind, you know, like, and just even in the sense of money, all that stuff, like that's important, of course. No, you know, nobody want to fight for free. Everybody want to be able to take care of their family, you know, and which is a very important goal for me. I want to, you know, retire my parents. I want to, you know, make, you know, take away those restraints, you know, from them and just my family in general. But at the same time, I want people to look at me as a sense of inspiration, you know, derive courage from me, and you know, be able to look at me and feel, okay, well, you know, Elijah, he went through trials and tribulations, and he was still able to come out on top, and he was still able to become a champion despite all his, you know, shortcomings and whatnot. So if I can do that, you know, then ultimately I've done something, I've fulfilled something within myself. And that, to me, that goes a lot longer than money.
No doubt. Pops, I know you like to hear that.
Yeah, no,
You like to hear that? Pops over here cheating.
To hear my son,
Nah, that's
you know,
good,
say
man.
those type of things, you know, it's very refreshing. You know,
I thought of a new nickname. I hope you won't mind. Elijah, now for real, Elijah the Gigolo Wolf Pierce. Here's why I say gigolo. Because my man here to do knockouts. He's here for a good time, not a long time. All right? Elijah the Gigolo Wolf Pierce. All right? Learn about it right here. Live on Whatever You Say podcast at 405 Nation, one stop hip hop shop. Elijah, last time we saw you, like you said in the opener, you were on TV knocking cats out. That was a big fight for you because you had a new deal.
Yeah.
After that, you're on the overtime deal. Still got that going with them.
Yeah.
And then you got something new going too. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm co-promoting right now between Overtime Boxing and Viva Promotions, which is basically they're basically like a subsidiary of Manny Pacquiao Promotions.
Okay.
So basically, his management, they're backing me as well. So yeah, I mean, things are looking up, and I'm actually the first American signee with them. They normally deal with a lot of guys from different countries. Obviously, the Philippines,
right?
Mexico, just Central American countries and whatnot. So I'm actually the first American fighter that they work with. So that makes me feel good. It's a testament to who I am as a fighter, and I'm just looking forward to this year. This is going to be my breakout year, and I've said that before as well. When I turn 27 years old, which I'm 27 as of September. That this was going to be the year that I break out, and the world will finally acknowledge who I am.
So we got some major backing. Have we leveled up? Have the training changed a little bit? Have we getting acupuncture? We can extra massages. Like has our training? Because I mean, like you said, you're getting older.
Yeah.
Has our training changed a little bit? Has our body care kind of switched up a little bit?
Well, some of those things are still kind of being under determination right now. We're still we've only recently signed a couple months ago, so we still kind of gotta figure out and find how we want to do things. Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, I don't want to change too much because what's been working has been successful. So, I mean, really, I feel like the main thing for me has been within myself, has been just me being focused and me being dedicated to the craft. That's really the main aspect. I feel like that's the biggest importance. So as of now, just staying focused. In the past, I've had a lot of different things kind of come in, distractions and stuff come into play, and ultimately it's had me lose out a little bit in my career, but now this is definitely the most focused I've ever been, for sure. When it pertains to boxing, I eat, sleep, and dream it every day. It's just consistent, and I love it.
Hey man, the mainstream is getting to learn that name, and once you get some backing and you get some funding, and it's time to turn up, man. It's time to turn up. Coach, come on now. I know you. Once we got this extra booking, this extra backing, and we got a little extra help. I mean, I know you got some ideas. Where we taking this thing?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about we've never been to Vegas and to
fall up there and stuff.
Well, not so much far up there, but being able to go up there and train and kind of get around the higher echelon people that box or whatever. It's kind of tough because I kind of want to go, but I kind of don't want to go.
What you mean? What, to Vegas?
To go down there to train. That's the hub of boxing.
Yeah.
That's where most of all the top guys go or whatever. I have concerns, but I kind of want to go.
What are you concerned about?
I everything I've learned. I have never been around anyone to.
You don't want to be influenced.
No, I've just never been around anyone to teach me anything or show me anything. I've learned everything from myself. So I kind of would like to go to watch, to pick up some things and this and that and that. The social media aspect of it, the videos, I'm kind of challenged. I'm kind of challenged with all that because
a lot of phones, a lot of cameras.
I would rather him train here and bring people here than him to go up there and expose himself to them, because they gamey, you know, and they try to. I don't want them to be trying to size him up.
Is that a thing? Like Oklahoma City, small town, you know, how many guys are coming out of Oklahoma besides Sean O'Grady?
They don't expect nothing. They don't expect nothing here, so this wouldn't be a place they will come, and so it's kind of like a little hideout, you know.
Do you see? It's a question for both of y'all. Do y'all see some of that? You're in Georgia now. You're fighting in Georgia. Your next fight's in Georgia. You see some of that. Oklahoma City, oh man, little town. They don't know nothing. Georgia, Atlanta, big hubs, a lot of resources, a lot of money, and never mind Vegas. You have to deal with that, Elijah, every now and then.
No, I mean, because real honestly, they're not really big as far as boxing concerned either.
No.
I mean, they have the last person they had really leading the front on that was Holyfield, and then Vernon Forrest, you know, rest in peace.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm looking to head that light now and you know, be the next guy to you know, lead Georgia and also lead Oklahoma as well. So
There you have it, man. There you have it. Elijah the Wolf Gigolo Pierce. Once again, he's here for a good time, not a long time. All right. Every time I've interviewed boxers, I've had 2 or 3 of them say, but I asked them, you know, how long you plan on, you know, taking this? You know, we're going for the knockout. We're going for, hey man, I don't get paid by the hour. We're getting this out of here quick.
Yeah.
We're getting this out of here quick. I'm not gonna get paid extra for doing this. So y'all check that out, man. If you find yourself in the Georgia area, March 29th, what's the venue?
oh yeah, at the OTE Arena, the
Okay.
Overtime Elite Arena.
No doubt, Overtime Elite Arena. How is it going with Overtime? I mean, that was a stretch for them to get into the boxing and the sports world too, right? So that's 2 entities, man, that are kind of going out their way to deal with you, man. There has to be a confidence.
Oh yeah,
booster.
I mean, man, there's nothing but love with Overtime. Honestly, I mean, they've shown nothing but hospitality and grace to me, and you know, everything just been reciprocated. You know, we got a great relationship with them, with their head of directors. You know, shout out Brandon, shout out Britton, you know, and all the other staff. You know, at Overtime, like I said, they're great, and you know, like they believe in me being champion as well, and I think that's one of the main things with me. Like I need for my team and just my whole management, my whole management entourage, everybody to be on one accord, and by that I mean, you know, as long as they have my best interests. Like, it's a real wolf pack. Like, that's how I live my life and how I, you know, move forward day to day. You know, it's a real wolf pack.
No doubt about it. Let's get to some other stuff outside of you just still in boxing. I'm sure you guys saw this latest, Joshua and Ngannou.
Yeah.
I was so happy for Joshua, happy for boxing, because what happened with Tyson Fury and Ngannou had me a little shaky, had me worried. Like, now here we go, more MMA guys. We already beat up. We already got Nate Robinson knocked out in front of everybody, right? Like, how far do we need to go with this, right? And I just knew, I was like, well, okay, here we go. If Joshua don't go out here and take care of business, now watch, here comes the next MMA guy. Here comes the next guy, the next guy. But when he ran through him like that, I don't know why, but it was like a sigh of relief. It's not like I was worried he would lose, but I was like, I just felt like, can we get back to regular scheduled programming now and cut this out? Is that just me from a fan, or do boxers, other boxers and trainers, do they kind of feel that too? Like, what's this pressure that MMA is putting on boxing, or is it like, come on, man, free payday for me if you want to come and
I
get
mean,
some of this?
somewhat. I mean, it just, the whole thing is, I mean, for me, it's just like, damn, it's tough because, you know, a lot of us who don't have that recognition and don't have that notoriety yet, you know, we have to put in blood, sweat, and tears every day, and we're only hoping for that opportunity to be on a well-known scale and make that type of money that these guys are coming from a different sport and making it right off the rip.
Just stealing.
Making millions of dollars. Yeah, so, of course that's gonna bother us in some way. It's gonna make us feel like, man, y'all are undeserving. We actually are fighting the other boxers, other people in our respective sport who are just as good as us, and we have to beat them in order to, make it to that top. And y'all get to come right off y'all first fight, second fight, making $5-10 million.
Promotion.
You're making millions of dollars. So it's unfair. But I know the world, life in the world ain't fair. So end of the day, me personally, I just kind of take it all with a grain of salt, and I just worry about me. I don't try to really worry about stuff that I can't control. And people are going to be people. Fans are going to be fans. They're going to be pretty finicky, and whatever it is that they like, they're normally going to flock to the best thing, or whatever is being marketed as the best thing. So like with somebody like myself, me, I got 2 losses or whatever. So off rip, a lot of people underrate me. A lot of people look at me, like I'm not who I say I am. And I've always had a chip on my shoulder with that. But at the same time, it only pushes me to, grow further and further, because ultimately I know I'm going to prove everybody wrong.
With all that being said, some 122-pound MMA guy wanna test your nuts.
If it's gonna be a money fight, you can get it.
Coach, you with that?
Yeah.
Let's
get it. Well, he
and we looking at it as food, right? Let's get this
I was
real quick. Pay these bills.
professional kickboxer.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of well-rounded. So I'm okay.
How long till a boxer challenges an MMA guy?
Now say again.
I think
A boxer challenges a UFC guy.
Say what if it,
Win-win. How far till we get?
Well, I think Ryan Garcia did. Matter of fact, I think he did, but I don't know. It's been. Then Clarissa, she did too. She's actually been participating in MMA.
Yeah.
She's won what she's she's 1-1. I think.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
she's 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. She lost one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's doing quite well. So. It's not unheard of to mix in them both sports or whatnot, but I just feel like, it's the money, just all, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying about the money stuff aspect. That part is
the money is so much more.
Yeah. It just get a little tricky with all that stuff, because now it's like they're making it to where the influencers and the guys with these followings or whatever, they're just outshining the boxers.
Jake Paul wants to fight. They're actually going to hook this Paul and Tyson fight.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're getting this, it's a circus now. Like, come on, man. And why would Paul even agree to this? Money. Why would Tyson agree to this? Money. Money ruins and runs everything.
They're putting props, and it's hard to take the sport serious.
Yeah, they laughing at us,
when
man.
bringing people from another sport into it, basically saying I can do what you do.
Yeah.
So you're almost undermining my expertise and saying you can match what I'm doing on the same level as me.
Both.
And so it's
both disciplines are getting disrespected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? MMA and boxing. So because an MMA fighter, he's hamstrung. He can't go in there and execute all his moves. He can only do it with his hands. So
right, but the thing is, he'll never.
No.
It's hard for me to believe that he can ever outdo a boxer, or a boxer can never, because he doesn't spend time on anything that you do long enough. You get good at it. Yeah. So if you're not doing that much punching and you're wrestling a lot, you're gonna be good at wrestling, but you're not gonna be as good as a boxer at punching. It's hard for you to overcome that. I don't care what kind of training you do, it's hard for you because you didn't put the time in. Same thing with a boxer. Try to go down on the ground, he gonna get choked up because that's just not what he does. Yeah. That's just not what he does.
Yeah.
And so when they do that, yeah, it's fun to imagine in your mind or whatever. You know, even when Mayweather done it with McGregor, you know.
Listen, fellas, I've had a good time talking to you guys, man. March 29th, like here in, what's that? 2.5 weeks?
Not 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. Catch this man right here, Elijah the Wolf Pierce, against Villanueva. Villanueva. Listen,
on TV.
Villanueva 35-4. You know, that's a hell of a record. Almost twice as much, basically twice as many fights my man Elijah has, but no problem. My man says he's going to be up in that ring on the 29th and be out of here real quick. We got a prediction. We got how many rounds? We got a
third round knockout.
Third round knockout. All right, you heard it here first. Whatever you say, podcast. That's a big. I mean, your last fight on the zone was third round knockouts. Is that what we just going with? Is that just easy to say?
No,
we're just sticking with that.
Like I said, I just as time goes on, I'm always growing smarter. I'm always getting more hip to the game. And I'm also honing in my skills.
Right.
And just ultimately, like, on top of that, whenever he feels comfortable with me and my training, it just does nothing but make me even that much more motivated.
And I feel comfortable. When he came in electric. He went. The rounds are in boxing are 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He went 12 4-minute rounds.
12 4-minute rounds.
And
okay.
You know, I look for the small things that maybe other people don't notice. And I noticed him still on his toes and everything. He wasn't getting flat-footed, so I knew that he had energy. His grouping of his shots, he started throwing a lot of onesies when he getting tired, but one couldn't group. So I've seen a lot of things that I generally don't see in a fighter at that point.
Okay.
You know, in the rounds, 10, 11, 12. And so I know that he's really ready. So I felt very comfortable. I felt very relaxed because I'm like, he's ready. He's ready.
You know, and just to add on top of that, like I said, I added shout out my strength coach Cairo, but I added a strength coach to this camp, and it's my first consistent time with a strength coach, and that's definitely paying dividends too, because the last 5 or 6 sparring partners, I done busted all their mouth and nose.
All of them.
Like literally, even this last session, I was sparring 4 people. They all nose was busted.
So is that the new? I remember asking you about the training, and have we changed it? Have we kind of upgraded?
Yeah.
I remember you said we working in some weights.
Yeah. Just
free weights. That's kind of a box to no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a way. It's a way to do it.
It's a way to do it. Yeah, it's just not a no. You don't want to do it while you're, let's just say, getting ready for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
If you be pumped up in there, you go in there, you'll get your tired.
Carrying around extra weight too. You carrying around extra muscles too.
Yeah, you're tired.
No doubt about it. Hey man, listen, March 29th, OTE Arena in Georgia, by way of Oklahoma City, straight out of the O, Elijah the Wolf Pierce taking on Villanueva March 29th. On the zone? Mm-hmm. On the zone? Stream it, download the zone, pay a little $5, $10 a month, whatever. You don't want to miss this one, all right? Whatever you say podcast, said it first. All right? Elijah Pierce, Andy Pierce, friends of the show. Thank you guys, man, once again. Appreciate y'all, and we're going to do it. I'm going to check this fight out, man. 3rd round knockout. Hey man, if it's 4th round pop up, I'm gonna be texting you. Say, what's taking so long? You know what I mean? Pierce boys, appreciate y'all, man. Whatever you say, podcast live from the One Stop Hip Hop Shop at 405 Nation. Check them out on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that at 405 Nation. OKC's very own. All right. Whatever you say, podcast. Arthur Villanueva. I'm out of here. Y'all be good.
Check it out.